Welcome to Aspire to Be More, where we share our journey from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of the franchise world. Meet your hosts, Chris Olexa, Kimberly Olexa, and Justin Smith. Join us as we share our story and the valuable nuggets of wisdom we've gathered along the way, all with the hope of helping just one person build their dream. Our goal is to teach you that you don't have to let society dictate your future. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to stay updated with our latest episodes. Welcome to Aspire to Be More.
Hey, my friends, welcome back to our podcast. Excited to be here today. It's been a while since I've been in this room. Actually, I'm missing my counterparts here. We've taken some time off, and we're interested to get back in here real quickly and do a introduction to an introduction, kind of a reintroduction here. But Kim and Justin are out in the field, actually working really hard this summer. We took off from our podcast, and I'll tell you why, too, because we had a lot going on. We got a lot going on with business right now and personal life, too. I got 3 kids in college now, which is crazy to me. I got a 10-year-old. So we took a little time off. We've been to a couple of conventions, and all our followers out there have been on me, like, when's the next podcast coming out? And, we're ready. We got a line up. We're just ready to start shooting, but we don't want to just shoot one, take some time off. We want to start shooting. So I'm excited to be here right now. We're doing an introduction, and I'm excited to look across the table because I got my new guy, Tyler. Yes. Tyler he's been part of our team before, but he's kind of taken a lead role here. Tyler's overseeing our production, pretty much the whole podcast. And I'm excited about that. I've known Tyler since he was a little kid. I never really got to coach you, Lily.
I know.
I wish I did.
Always different.
I was always mad. See, Tyler, he went to school in our hometown. He was a hometown kid, and he's working his tail off, doing great things. But when we were Little League football, Tyler was like one of the studs on the other side that I could never get because we had these dad pick things, and he always played on the other side. So I never really got a chance to coach him, but I really looked up to him as a little kid when he played. He's a really tough kid. But Tyler's been part of our team before, but Tyler's taking a little lead role in our production here. Yeah. So introduce yourself, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm Tyler Hendricks. I'm a full-time editor and now take production of this podcast. 23, and I'm about to have a baby boy, so I'm really excited.
Any day.
Yeah, any day. It can happen right now.
We were supposed to do this reintroduction tomorrow, but Tyler had to move it up because he has an appointment in the morning. So you might be going home with the baby tomorrow, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
So excited to have you, man.
Yeah,
I'm
excited to be here.
We've moved production companies a couple of times, and just different mindsets and different outlooks, and we're in business, right? And the podcast is secondary to us. So Tyler's like, I'm going to have to push y'all to get in this table and get in here and produce some stuff. So we're really excited, but with that, we kind of changed the setup a little bit, some of your ideas too, and the camera angle. So we're going to be constantly moving, and that's one thing I always do. I always evolve myself. I look at this set from last year. I felt like I was in a broadcast center. I felt like I was on CBS News. Here, I bring you the news report, which I should be bringing the presidential report here pretty soon. Hopefully it goes well. But so we changed the setup a little bit. So we're going to have Kim and Justin in here, and we'll have different guests in here too. So we're working on that schedule too. But one of the big things, Tyler, I wanted to announce is you came to me, and we both came to each other and kind of started collabing a little bit on this. And time to change the name.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Aspire to Be is going to be better for this.
Yes. So Tyler, let the cat out of the bag. We're going to change the name to Aspire to Be. That's our company name. That's who we are. And to tell you a little past, People Bring Profit definitely brought it what we needed. That was our mindset with the company a while back. And I did that. I was on a couple of guests on podcasts, and I used to use that a lot. People Bring Profit. And every time after the podcast ended, the editors or the producers or the hosts would say, dude, I love that name. I love that idea of the People Bring Profit. And what that came from really was, in the past, we'd always focus as a business of trying to run our business, and our leadership team, and this goes up with an executive office that Inspire Brands and our big corporations. Sometimes we're looking at value and what's the value of the guests getting, and you look at like Arby's, for example, 2 for $5, 2 for $6, value, Buffalo Wild Wings, buy one, get one free. And sometimes we get wrapped up in the number of the value, and the cost of the product. But the value also is the people, right? It's the guest and our employees, and how we give back to our guests, and how we host the hostess, the guest, the server, the bartender, how quick service is, if we're giving their refills in time, giving them dropping their check in time. If we that we wanted them in our store, we welcomed our store. So people are the most important thing for any business is a profit. So that's where that came from. But Aspire2B is our company name. That's who we are. That's mine and Kim's like love. I mean, we both came from a background that we weren't supposed to be here. And we would have followed society. So people, the people bring profit brought us to this way. Now Aspire2B, we want to do this in a different manner. We want to aspire others to make a better business, drive a better business, get in the franchise business, build their own business, be better dads, moms, whoever they can be a better leader, be a godly person, be involved in your communities, do whatever it is to be, a good person in this world. So that's where we came up with the name. So you'll see a new set. You'll see Tyler's done an amazing job on our new artwork. Yeah, the introduction, dude, that was freaking awesome.
I know. That came out so good.
It did. The first one you sent me was like, I don't know, Tyler. I felt like somebody's going to eat some mushrooms on this one because they had like little floating stars or squares and lines. It's like, okay, Tyler. What I loved about you were like, I don't really like it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't get satisfied that easy.
And that was cool.
Be right.
And then we were at a conference, actually a Buffalo Wild Wings conference in Florida. And it was our half a free day, and it was beach day. So we're supposed to be out on the beach, Marco Island. Me and Kim were pumped, like, okay, we've been so busy. Let's go on the beach and enjoy. But then it stormed. Like, I was like, But what brightened my day, we were sitting at the bar, and I got the email, and it was like, hey, check that out. Check the new thing. And I was like, dude. Yeah. Kim was like, it's hard to get Kim excited about stuff at all, especially in business. She was like, that looks so good. Yeah. So you did a good job on that. So we're excited.
Yeah, I had a question for you, too. When you came up with Aspire2B, was it something that y'all like looked at over a long period of time, or did it just click to both of y'all?
It just clicked.
Just instantly?
It did. I don't know. It just, I think everybody in business and in life, Tyler, just with your life too, you got to be honed into your inner spirit. And I'm not saying I'm going to be a, Indian spirit ground type of person. But sometimes I always say that like something just pops in my head, and it's the craziest thing. It's the thing was when I'm on my tractor or on my mower outside or holding my weed eater or just in the shower, and just things pop in my head, and I've always wanted to change our name. And I've used that in the podcast. You go back and see our company used to be called RC Group. It was an easy way to do a corporation name. Yeah, you remember?
I didn't know that.
That's what it was. RC Group was our first company name when we started Buffalo's. And what it was is my partner at the old partner I had was Raj, and it was me, Chris, and we just said, kind of come up with a corporate name. The lawyer's like, come up with a name. We're like, oh, okay. He said, can my name go first? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't have an ego. Should have. And so it was R and C, RC Group. And then I started thinking RC like a remote control thing. I was like, oh, that's a stupid name. But when me and Kim first started out, it was all CK Classics. That's when we started Quiznos. It was like C for Chris. I had an ego, I guess. I should let Kim go first because she's way better than I am. And it was Kim and Classic Subs because it was Quiznos Classic Subs. So we didn't put much thought into our company name. But now it's all about the culture, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody loves the name now, and it's what it is and what it meant. So it just popped in my head, man, because I always, and I went back and think, from growing up, I always aspired to be the best. I always wanted more. I always, Little League football. I wanted to be
we all felt that too. We all looked up to you.
I wanted to be that guy.
We'd go to B-dubs after the games, just be like, man, Chris is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I felt like. I always wanted to be the best Little League coach, and I wanted to bring something to the game and make it fun, but win. Yeah. So that it just popped, man. It did. Isn't it cool? Yeah. I get asked all the time. Aspire to be
a great name.
Like this shirt. Sure. I wear these shirts all over the place, and we got to do a set, like a shoot in here one day, because you follow us around sometime. Because I want to see everybody to see our swag in here and what we got going on in our podcast center and our swag shop. Because I wear these shirts all the time, and I get stopped at the airport saying, "I love that." Me and Justin and Kim were flying back from the conference, and he had his little little shirt on pullover, and it said A to B on the top. I was like, I love that. What is that? And it's just a conversation piece. And it's a chance for us to start a conversation and truly what aspire to be. And hey, go follow us, and you know how many followers we got from that? But you know how many people, I want to say this, Tyler, we were at the conference and we got stopped like 20 times. Like, man, I love your podcast. When's the next show coming out? I haven't seen it in a while. Like, oh, we're coming out a little bit. Hey, we love it. Are you a subscriber? They're like, no. They don't understand the importance of subscribing. Yes, Neither did I until I started this, dude. I mean, YouTube gets on us for the subscribers, right?
Yes.
So if you're watching this, go hit the subscribe button.
Yes. Click the
It's
subscribe
important
button.
to me, man. It's important to me. So yeah, that's where the name came from. Pretty awesome. Is this an interview session? You about to ask me some questions here?
Yeah. I'll actually pull up some better questions. How about
Okay.
that?
Well, I didn't know
All right.
this. I thought we were just going to introduce you and all this. So hey,
Let's do.
what you got, Tyler? Just pop me some
Start
questions.
with the franchise question because I really want to know your
Okay.
what you want to say on this, and I think I know. But if you had to do it over, would you buy a franchise again or choose a different opportunity?
Well, you know it. You know I'm going to answer this. Do a franchise, right? Because it's changed my life.
Yeah.
I mean, and I owe this to Buffalo Wild Wings. Me and Kim both do. It started with Quiznos too, but I mean, Buffalo Wild Wings has changed my life. I mean, it's changed my kids' lives. It's changed our outlook on life. It's changed that I can, we almost have 1,000 employees through our system, and that we're, touching people's lives in so many other ways. And I live comfortably, and I didn't live comfortably before. Now I do go back, Tyler, and say me and Kim were driving the other day because of the stress of running a business. You're like, God, can we just live in that little house, not too much stress, and just, go to punch the clock every day and go to work. But that's not who me and Kim are. But the franchise business, man, it's simple. It's easy if you follow the blueprint. Do what they tell you to do. Look at the markets they tell you to do. I mean, you're going to work your tail off, and you give them a royalty fee, but I'm not out inventing something new, starting over, because those companies fell pretty, I think I always read an article that, 50% of all restaurants fell, but mom and pops or locally owned places are way more, 20%, make it because they don't have the buying power and what. So I'm not saying restaurants, but man, look at all different things in it. But franchise is a great way for a young or older person who wants to get in business on their own. Get out of the plant life or get out of the day-to-day life and wants to own something of their own. I think the franchise business is the way to go. But you got to do your research, man. There's a lot of research, and we get way more into that in some topics here in the future, though.
We will.
Yeah.
On next episodes, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is another one. This is going to be more personal. But how has your view on success changed over time?
I was talking to somebody the other day too, and they said they had life goals, and I don't really have a life goal. I just wanted to be a good person. So success to me isn't money. It's not like, well, I look at like people like Tillman Fertitta. Man, look at this guy. I mean, I go to his Gold Nugget all the time. I've been on his yacht, got, up to meeting, go to his little party all the time. And, every see his years, he's worth $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion. I don't think that's a goal of mine, is to be like worth $1 billion, or then it'd be $2 billion. I don't think that's the goal of mine. My goal in mine is just to make a difference, and to prove that I can do it, and to prove to my kids that I could do it, and I did it without a college education. So success to me truly is just a self thing. It's not a trophy thing. Now, I love to win trophies, meaning like we win Best Franchisee of the Year award or top stores, which I've never been Franchisee of the Year award, which, boy, that makes me mad sometimes. I feel like I'm the best franchisee in the system at every brand.
I have to look at that one.
Yeah, look at that one. But, success to me now is just like, we're going to open 2 more stores. Then we're going to open 2 more stores. And every day I pinch myself because that's, a store, the guys that work for us and, offering benefits and, bonus systems and salaries and more promotions and changing their lifestyle. I love seeing the guys that work for me, like buy their first house. I've talked about that before. And, and able to take cool vacations and enjoy their families at Disney World. To me, because I was 25 years back, I couldn't even afford that. I mean, me and Kim were, want to know if we can order a pizza that night. And now I got people that work for me. So that they're taking, live in beautiful house. One of them I walked up to and I was like, dude, this house is awesome. And he was like, you really think so, Chris? I said, yeah, I mean, it was forever before I ever owned anything like that. So success to me is watching other people be successful.
As I am 23 now, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm getting up there.
Yeah.
But I feel like since probably 20 years old, it's like every day I'm thinking like if I don't just like start going, pushing more and more and like already getting the money, that I'm not doing good enough.
Yeah.
But as someone like, how old were you when y'all actually, I guess after Quiznos, when y'all first got your big one?
I think, so how are when we first started making good money?
Yeah, basically.
Man, we opened our Quiznos, and then we opened our first Buffalo Wild Wings. Then we were opening our second, and that's when I first moved out of my little townhouse. So, it was like $50,000 townhouse. Our mortgage note was $400, and I bought my first nice little house. And today it's probably normal house. And but it wasn't till I don't know, we had about 8 buffaloes that I started making a good income, like truly that I can I could pay my bills, and then I can, take little cooler vacations and things, because you got to remember, Tyler, you got to have money to make money, so a lot of people make that mistake where they start doing very well with one store, or, okay, I just made $100,000, and then they go blow it or go buy a nice house or nice boats. No, put that money up, because now you can invest that. And that's what happened. We bought first buffaloes. That first buffaloes allowed us to buy the second buffaloes. First and second left about a third. And we kind of did it with some loans, but we weren't having to put a lot of down payments, because we were using the profits to buy the second one, the profits to buy the third. And it wasn't until we got to 8 that we were making enough profits now that I can have some profits. And now we can continue to grow, because we had that many making good money. And also, too, man, I've learned, too, especially with COVID, I mean, dude, you never know what's going to happen. Here we had, 7, 8 buffaloes churning, doing freaking phenomenal. And then the government comes and tells you to shut down. And if we didn't have a nest egg of cash put up, if we would have went and just dividended out and partied and played and bought, nicer aircraft or boats or whatever, we would have been in trouble. But the banks were calling like, hey, what are you going to do? Don't worry, I got enough to fund, because I still had mortgages to pay for all these buildings. I still had payroll to pay for all these managers. I'd lost my whole team. They needed to make money. So you got to be careful what you spend. You got to make sure you hoard it back. Be selfish with that money until you really feel comfortable, Yeah.
There's a lot of stress in owning your own business too, because I'm sure you feel this, that if you don't do it, then those people don't get paid as well, and their families have to go through that. So it's kind of, there's a lot of stress on you running the business and making sure everything's afloat.
It is. I saw Kim last night. She normally wakes up super, super early, and she didn't get up as early as she normally does. And I said, you didn't sleep good? She said, no, she just got a lot of stress, because we constantly stress out. Because there's decisions that me and her and the team are making every day that can affect not just my job. It can affect 800 jobs. And, out of those 800 jobs, a lot of those hourly employees can go get jobs. They just go anywhere. The kitchen guy, we hate to do that. We hate to lose them, but they can go get a kitchen job the next day. Managers don't. It's hard, especially multi-unit managers. They can't. They have to apply, goes through a system. I mean, we're hiring a multi-unit manager now, and it's not like we just, hey, let's hire. It's like a month process, right? They go through two or three different interviews face-to-face. So if they're laid off or lost their job because we made a stupid decision, so you got to be very careful. So it weighs on my head a lot. The stress levels, it's funny, I was at a local restaurant last night, me and Kim, and we kind of rushed out because we had to go pick our little one up at church, and I left my cell phone. I never leave my cell phone, but I left it and told Kim, we just go pick her up, and then on the way back, I'll get my cell phone. And it was funny, the tables around me, it was still sitting there because we're only gone 15 minutes. And they haven't cleaned the table yet, which they needed to. We don't like dirty tables. And the guys around me were like, dude, your phone's been ringing off the wall. I said, I know. You don't want to answer this thing during the day. Because those levels, there's things that happen in our stores that we got to take care of. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone considering investing in a franchise for the first time?
Find something that you like. And this is crazy. This is super simple, right? If you're a motorhead, look for a motorhead, like a car auto parts place or something that you truly enjoy. I didn't really truly enjoy restaurants. I just kind of fell into it because that's where I found the niche and where I needed to be. I do love it. I love the gentleman. I love the hospitality. I love the people. I'm good at it. Yeah. I'm suck at sitting in this office sometimes, but I'm very good at the business side of it in the field. Seeing what's wrong, why is this not working right, why is it not running right. So as a franchisee or a person that's getting in a business, look at something that you like, that you enjoy. Then look what's missing in your town. I mean, heck, there's hamburger places all over the place. I would not open a hamburger place, but there's some cool ones coming. Matter of fact, one I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I got a good guy that's doing good business with it so far. But it's like ice cream. How many ice cream places do we have? You always see these negative. I'm sure every city has this. Another donut store, right? Another donut, which Shipley Donuts is freaking awesome. We got another one coming in our hometown, but it's Shipley's. I'm like, yes, I love Shipley's. But you got also, too, what's missing in your hometown. Like if that's where you want to do business or where are you moving. So you don't want to go build another franchise because you got to think, too, in business, they're going to sell, let's use pizza, for example. They're going to sell, $100,000 worth a week of pizzas in that market, and that's just a number I'm throwing out there. So if you open another pizza joint, are they going to do $120,000 worth a week in business? Or are they going to do 80? Now the pie is going to get smaller. Yeah. So now this pizza guy's only going to get this much. So you got to be careful of that. Yeah. It's when you overabsorb a territory with multiple concepts, that sell the same thing, I mean, people are going to be divided. They're not always going to love Buffalo Wild Wings or Arby's or Starbucks. I mean, look at Starbucks, for example. That's why Starbucks are down because there's so many coffee shops all over the place. Dutch Brothers, Scooters, all these different coffee shops. So the shares get smaller, So, and if you're going in there, if you're going to compete with some big dogs like Starbucks or big companies that have huge, a lot of money that they can market out, then you better be careful what you're putting out there. You better get a good product out there too.
What's a lesson you've learned from failure?
Don't make that same mistake twice, right? I mean, again, you've heard me say this in many of my podcasts. I don't pay attention to the wins. I pay attention to the losses. It's like, Little League football game. If I lost that game, I'm going to go pay attention. What did I do wrong? Who did I put in the wrong spot? But I think that what I've learned the most lessons for failures are look back, learn from it, what went wrong. And normally it's a people person. It's a people problem, and that's normally what happens in our business is putting somebody in a spot that they're great people. They're good people. We put them in a spot that they didn't do well at. It's like me. If you put me behind the CFO's desk, Kim's desk, I would not do good because I don't have the attention span to sit there. I can look at a P&L within 5 minutes and break it down, but I'm not going to be the one putting the numbers in there and digging deeper and deeper and deeper, So I couldn't do that. So failure is normally a people problem, and that could be with me. I mean, it could be me doing something I shouldn't be doing. So now I've learned with failure too. Normally the mistakes I've made is because I haven't trusted my team. I haven't listened to them enough. I haven't paid attention to them enough. I say this when you're at a table, as you build out yourself, your brand, or whatever you're going to do in life, and your wife is your counterpart right now. So she probably gives you the best advice ever. Especially she's going to give you great advice as a dad. If most dads fail, it's because they're not listening to the mother of their child. Like, you need to be more involved, because it's weird. Dads are different, man. Moms are, I don't know, they got an instinct. They know
I've
how to
already
take.
seen that, and we don't even have it yet, but I see it.
I mean, it's like wildlife, right? Deer, the boy, what deer does, just goes and leaves. The mom raises that child. The mother has a natural instinct to be a good father. We have an instinct to teach them how to hunt, fish, things like that, but we don't have the loving kind of that way. So it's your wife is the mother of your child will teach you how to be a good dad. Business, sometimes, especially when you're starting out, listen to your wife. Listen to your significant other because they can give you some good advice. And I'm blessed to have one of the best at that. Yeah. So that's the major failures I've had is because I didn't listen to her and did it opposite. And I learned that now. So
she's going to love to hear this one.
Yeah, when we're around the conference table, I tell her this all the time. Shout out to her, man, and all the hardworking women because they bring a different attitude to the business. And I sit there and I tell her last night, I told her, I'm just at awe sitting around you at the conference table because, you bring a different perspective. And I love it.
I love hearing these questions from you because I always want to pick your brain, and sometimes I feel like I don't get to. So,
well, we should do more of these, bring people in because I think that's the best time of these. And these are the podcasts. I just got an email out to another guy just asked me to be on his podcast. It's a really small podcast, but he's blowing it up, doing well. And he used to work for me years back. I just read it on Messenger, and I get crazy messengers, so I don't look at those a lot. Because most of them, I ain't reading that one because it's calling me some crazy name or something, attacking me in some format. But then this one, and he wanted me to be on a podcast. He said, "I'd love you to be on. I want you to help me blow it up." And I said, "Anything I can do to help." So he's a young guy. He used to be an employee for us years back at Buffalo's. He lives in Houston, and I said, "Dude, I'd love to help you out like that." But I love answering questions like this. Yeah.
You always go like above and beyond of like helping, and that's why I feel like the Aspire2B name just like fits y'all and fits you like very, very well.
It does, and I want to, say this too, Tyler. And after being on Gary Vee's podcast, I got to sit with his top guy, and it's like I think they call them their inner 8. He has like 8 of his top employees that work really close to him, and they kind of control everything. And he made the comments, Gary's pretty awesome because when he's outside getting a cup of coffee, walking down New York Street, somebody's going to take a picture with him and want to ask him a business question. And he'll spend 5 minutes with them talking to him. He said, but Gary's so busy that, I'll email him or text him and say, hey, Gary, I need 10 minutes of your time today. We need to go. He said, I don't have time. So he said he's making time for external people, but he don't have time for his internal people. Yeah. And I'm at that struggle now. It's like my day is filled, and I get a lot of requests, and a lot of them, let's hook up, and then I don't follow up. If you don't follow up me, I'd forget, because I'm so in tune to the business and running the business and stressed with the business and my family life too. I hear Gary Vee, what he told me, at 5 o'clock he goes home. He turns off everything. He's at home with his kids, and I'm trying to do that more and more. Me and Kim are trying to do that better, and we've done pretty good at that. But it's to make time to just sit with people. That's why I love doing this, because I can come in here for an hour, 30 minutes, answer some questions, hopefully help somebody. But if there's any other comments or questions, you shoot them, tell them to shoot them to us on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll add them to the list.
Yeah, I'll add it all to the list. Just comment any questions you have.
Yeah, because what I'd love to do is, we've talked about these episodes. Like, we're going to get meeting. Tyler's challenged us, right? And Kim's challenged us. We want to be a little bit more political, talk about how politics are going to really affect our businesses no matter the way it goes. Somebody said, hey, if they have the first debate they have, let's talk right after the debate to just see what we can break it down as business people, what we're scared about. I was on a Facebook comments the other day, a good friend of mine, he was posting stuff and talking about, the different presidents. And I kind of weighed in my thing and kind of got some kickback. I say, hey, I'm not here to debate. Believe me, I'm in tune to the business side. I can tell you what the economy is affecting us, and I have a good insight of it. So that's not an opinion. That's true. Come look at it. I'll show it to you. So I think that's what we really want to talk about with small business owners, because it's tough. Business is tough for people right now. We're having to hunker down but love to do that. Some answer questions too, like one episode here, every 3 episodes or 4 episodes that we get in here, and you just get in here. Maybe you get up here and just ask me, Kim, and Justin some questions. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Well, enjoyed it.
Yes, I did too.
So thank you for being on. I'm sure you'll see Tyler more and often. He'll probably have be a little sleepier here pretty soon.
Yeah, probably won't get enough sleep.
Well, congratulations out on Tyler. But hey, go follow our podcast. Go hit the subscribe button. This will be our first introduction to the reintroduction coming out. So I think production should be starting here in 2 or 3 weeks. Tyler will be editing all the podcasts and getting ready to submit them and put them on YouTube and all over their platforms. And we'll get rolling. But thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you real soon. Kim and Justin will be back up here with us.